In order to be in the horse industry like this, it has to be a passion, it has to be your lifestyle. I started riding when I was 3 years old. My mother was a big dressager. She was an S judge in the USA and Canada. I knew my dressage, but I was not a very good rider at it. I was good at cross country. And then I found out that I really wasn't ever going to make a living as an event rider. So I decided to get serious about dressage.
I call myself support staff, so I don't ride. I've ridden enough to know how difficult it is and fallen off a few times, so I stay on the ground.
I couldn't do it without Lauren. He believed in me every step of the way. It's hard to be at the elite level, I think, at any sport, but this sport, I think, is even harder because it's so expensive. I can't afford to go out and buy a Grand Prix horse, so I've brought a number of horses along, from baby to Grand Prix.
Wow. That horse is pretty nice.
I found Aisha over in Germany, and I bought her as a sales prospect. She was 6 years old, but not very trained. She'd been out in the field for a couple of years. Brought Aisha home, and after riding her for about 6 months, I thought she was way too special.
Excellent. Very good. Nice.
And by the time she was 9, she started in her first international Grand Prix, and she was representing Canada over in Europe. So I did pick the right horse that time.
Good job. Oh, and the crowd's wild. And jubilation.
So in 2009, what is kind of amazing, I think, is that there was no breast cancer in my family. I had no increased risk at all. In the beginning of 2009, my mother was diagnosed with a late-stage breast cancer, and a couple of months after that, my aunt was diagnosed. And so that inspired me to make sure I had a mammogram.
You go to those doctors' appointments, you know, hoping for information, but also hoping for good news, and the news we got wasn't good.
They found early-stage breast cancer. And all of a sudden, your life just kind of stops.
The initial shock is as what you'd expect it to be. Shannon, right from the start, wanted to treat it aggressively.
We decided to do a double mastectomy. So you make that difficult decision, and then you go, and it's pretty radical. But I got on Aisha 3 weeks after.
She couldn't wait to get back on a horse, and was getting back on a horse probably sooner than the doctors said she should have, but I think that helped her tremendously.
A lot of it was that I just couldn't wait to get back in the saddle. And it was a huge part in my recovery. I think Aisha knew when I was on her and I was weak and a little fragile. I think she knew. And she was just gonna be a good girl. Like, then those were not the days that she decided to be spooky. Having that bond is pretty amazing. I had the surgery in October, and Aisha and I did our first Grand Prix in January, the beginning of January. So, and our first international Grand Prix at the end of January. Things happened so fast. Having come through something that tests you like that, I feel like I can deal with almost anything with more strength. And I'm really, really happy that SmartPak is supporting the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. It's a perfect partnership to me. And I think that with the breast cancer research that is being funded by companies like SmartPak, we're going to get to a point where most breast cancer is going to be either curable or turned into just a manageable disease. I can see it in the near future where we can get there if we keep doing the research.
You know, we keep talking about what the future holds. I think the competition is particularly addictive, especially when you have great horses. And she's got a couple of really good ones now. So we're in it for the long, for the long haul.
I'm not stopping yet.